66% of people report feeling lonely at the holidays. Loneliness is as bad for your health as is smoking every day. We don't have gratitude for the reason for the season. I mean, really, the whole reason for this season is the spiritual reason. And this is the real problem. This loneliness, anger, lack of gratitude, stress has replaced the real reason for the season. Don't try to run away from the real solution, because you're just running away from the only possibility of solving the problem of loneliness, and depression, and mental issues, etc. If you run away from spirituality, you run away from yourself.
Just came to my mind that we always try to find a solution, and we turn all the possible stones. We look in all possible kind of directions to solve our solutions, our problems in life, except the spiritual path.
Yeah, that's absolutely
quite amazing.
This article, it doesn't mention anything about
no
that. It's just, let the emotions and loneliness flow through you, and watch a lot of movies, or call an old friend, or, just some material solution, escape.
Yeah. So let's mention the article. This is an article from CNN, in CNN Health.
Yeah, I think looks like it.
And it's called...
Don't call it mindfulness, because it's not.
No, it's not. It's not even mindfulness. Yeah, but
no.
I see what you mean.
Okay, so start over CNN and just read the
CNN Health
title.
We're reading from an article from CNN Health, and this is from this year, published a little bit before Christmas. And so it says, could the most magical time of year be so full of loneliness, anger, and stress? And then it says, for some people, the holiday season can be a time of stress, emotional turmoil, or intense loneliness. Remember that friends, colleagues, and strangers may be having difficulties. And if we're gonna... Maybe we could just read a few of the head, of the main things from the article.
Well, yeah, I was thinking, this introduction's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to read it, or should I?
Yeah, because, it explains it in this introduction, pretty clearly. And this was written before the holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
This was actually published December 10th.
Yeah.
So Christmas and New Year's is coming up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So as the holiday season approaches, many conjure up images of the perfect gathering, comforting aromas of home-cooked feast, harmonious laughter between friends and family, and thoughts of gratitude that easily roll off the tongue. And that's kind of how a lot of people envision the holidays. I mean, that's from the movies and the books, and, maybe somebody's personal experience. I had such memories of those times. I mean, it was just about all this, So that's the bright side. That's the good side.
Mm-hmm.
But continuing, for some people, this time of year feels like the exact opposite. It is a time of stress, emotional turmoil, or intense loneliness that looks nothing like the traditional celebration of togetherness. So that's the other side. And I can tell you now, in modern times, this side of it is becoming more and more prominent.
Mm-hmm.
And the other side of togetherness and harmony and love and friendship
And gratitude.
And all that is gratitude is diminishing a lot. So, yeah. And that tells you something right there, doesn't it? About
It does.
overall normal conditions, quote normal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then, there's some statistics here that are quite interesting.
Yeah. That's really nice.
66% of people report feeling lonely at the holidays, according to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, while 64% of the people with mental illness say that the holidays make their conditions worse. I mean, that's high numbers,
66% feel lonely at the holidays. That's 2/3.
Yeah. 66%. I mean, that's when you don't have to work. You can be with your friends or your family or, whoever you choose to be with. You don't have to be stuck with work colleagues that you don't like or any of that scenario. And actually, they feel more lonely at this time than otherwise. And go ahead.
Oh, it just makes me think, but maybe we can discuss that later. I'm wondering how many of those people are actually with their families and they're supposed to be like a comfortable, loving togetherness atmosphere and still feel lonely. I wonder.
Well, it actually mentions that down further down in the article.
Okay.
It doesn't mean we get a statistic, but it does mention that idea. Mm-hmm. And 64% with mental illness say that the holiday season makes their condition worse. Yeah. Where again, you would think, just logically, that it would make it better.
Yeah.
You're with the ones supposedly that you like, you care for your loved ones, your relatives, those who care about you, and et cetera, et cetera. But they say it makes it worse, 64%. So, and this is written, by the way, by a child, adolescent, and adult psychiatrist. He says he's seen these issues firsthand way too often. So it's not speculation, it's actually reality,
And just to compare, it says related article in this, and then it says nearly 1 in 4 adults feel lonely, new survey finds. So I'm just thinking, so probably it would be like almost 25% feel lonely, and then at the holidays, at Christmas and New Year's, it's 66%, from 25 to 66. Yeah.
So it ramps it up.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. And with the disjointed families now in all levels, a lot of people just don't have family to go to. Everybody, the homes are so broken and, people are so scattered all over the place and, so they don't even have somewhere to go. So that's another point. There's a lot of reasons why all this is going on. And it actually talks, why are loneliness and emotional distress so common this time of the year? Some people may be living far from family or may not be able to afford to travel to see them. That's what I was just saying. Everything's scattered now. People are different countries, different cities, different wherever, Or they just don't have the money to go see them. They would if they could, but they can't do it. Others may be grieving the loss of loved ones or navigating strained relationships. And the holidays can serve as a rude reminder of those losses. And for some, the holiday seasons brings families together who would rather be apart. Whatever the cause, the impact of the holidays on our mental health can be profound. See? So, all those reasons, there's so many different reasons. You know, the relationships that are supposed to make us actually feel secure and safe and warm and happy are not producing that result. So, yeah. Yeah. And, loneliness, here's an interesting statistic, Reuben. The problem is loneliness is killing us, literally. According to the U.S. Surgeon General, Dr. Vivek Murthy, loneliness is as bad for your health as is smoking every day. It can increase your risk of mental health conditions, stroke, heart disease, and even premature death. So it's not just a, bad feeling. It's actually killing us. Yeah. And this was also, very obvious during the COVID lockdowns. I mean, that was one of the major results of COVID lockdown, loneliness, mental health issues, and, physical issues other than having COVID. All these things that are created by this mental condition, because loneliness is a mental condition, which reflects in the physical, as do many mental conditions. Yeah, so bad as smoking every day. Everybody knows how bad that is. So anyway, it's a real problem. This is the issue. It's not just something you can not be concerned about.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a very big issue. Yeah.
But it also points to something, doesn't it? Like when you feel loneliness and you experience these things, that's also a chance for you to kind of go into yourself and reflect, like, why do I have this feeling? What can I really do about this? Not cover it up, not try to shy away from it, but rather like face it and do something with it. Let it be a motivation for you to, take care of things, change things.
Yeah.
I mean,
and down in the article a little bit, we're not going to go through all the details, but it talks about anger also being, we talked about loneliness, but it also points to anger greatly increases, because maybe you're angry because you don't have a place to go, or you're with your family, but by obligation, basically, but you'd rather not be because, you've got all these issues with family members that, brings up anger because they did something to you, or they said something, or they didn't do something, So anger also increases during the holiday season, which is supposed to be the time of good feelings. It becomes the opposite. And then it talks about gratitude, how, there's not real gratitude expressed for, the family scene or whatever, but also what we would like to bring up is we don't have gratitude for the reason for the season, I mean, really, the whole reason for this season is the spiritual reason, and this is the real problem. This The loneliness, anger, lack of gratitude, stress has replaced the real reason for the season.
It's like a big, yeah. I mean, you have this big void. You're removing all the spiritual values from Christmas, and you're removing Jesus from Christmas. And then what do you fill it with? Like you said, you're left with. This is what you're left with. Unfortunately, like this is what you fill that void with.
Yeah, and this is just how it is. If you've got something full and you take whatever that out, something's going to replace it.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's not going to be just an empty void. Something's going to replace the good that was removed, which is the birth of Jesus, the gratitude, for him coming and teaching us the perfect love for God message that he did and set the example by his life and gave us a full understanding of how we can make our life not only better but perfect and actually leave this material world behind and go back to the spiritual world. I mean, that's the greatest gift and message that could ever be delivered. And we have no gratitude for that.
No. And that's what
not only no gratitude, there's a concentrated effort to stop that. It's not only, I don't have any gratitude. It's like I have an actual agenda to remove that from my life and the life of other people, society in general. Antichrist movement. Okay, so they've done that pretty much successfully in many places. Pretty much been successful in that project. And now what do we got? And we've just been reading, and statistically proven. Loneliness, anger, stress, lack of respect, and all the other things that flow in to the void that has been left when you take spirituality out of the season, the holiday season.
But this is like, and even in terms of the togetherness with family, and I kind of started thinking about this. I started mentioning this before, like that is what really can bring the family together, or will bring the family together. If you have a spiritual foundation, the common denominator, the common interest is the spiritual interest. And then you have a reason to forgive because you try to serve a higher cause, the supreme person. Good values don't just pop up from nowhere, or people, if you're under the influence of false ego, not your real identity, you're not just like naturally going to be very kind to people. Or just even, you have no direction, you have no moral direction. You don't like what's good and bad. Why should you forgive? But if your heart is, at a place where you want to serve a higher cause and the supreme person is the topmost cause, then obviously you will want to create, and you will be able to create that family togetherness, real family togetherness, and have that atmosphere, which is, of course, that's very conducive to spiritual life, and that's, going to support you and support everyone who's taking part of that family gathering. Not that it's an end goal in itself, but it's.
There's an absolute true statement that says materialism kills spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
So Christmas has been turned into a completely materialistic season, holiday focus, and it kills spirituality. So when I was young, and still today, we just passed through Christmas a few days ago. We had an amazing celebration. But what was the focus of the celebration? It wasn't Christmas trees. It wasn't gifts. It wasn't all this kind of thing. It wasn't watching football. It was actually a complete focus on Jesus, his birth, his life's activities, glorifying him, singing Christmas carols that are all about his birth and et cetera, et cetera.
Hmm.
And a nice offering to Jesus that was also, very enlivening, very, fulfilling. And it was an amazing day, and there was no loneliness involved.
No.
And there was no anger, and there was no stress. It was none of that.
But that's like, I mean, many people can't even, of course, if you don't accept the existence of a supreme anything, even if you don't relate to that supreme as a person, it's hard to, what are you gonna conquer this loneliness with? Like, what are you gonna feel connected with? I mean, loneliness is your feeling of missing someone, right? Like you're not having that connection. So what are you gonna connect with? You're gonna connect with your imperfect family and your friends that you experience are not really satisfying you, and you have the feelings of anger towards them, and they expect things, and it's obvious, it's not a good place to place your searching for connection. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it's just like in this article.
Yeah.
There were solutions presented, but they were all just some material solution.
Mm.
Do this, do that, think like this, think like that, call somebody up, whatever. But there was no mention of anything spiritual, because they don't see it as a spiritual problem. They see it as a material problem that you can adjust and cure from a material vantage point.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely not true.
Mm.
It doesn't work at all. So the only solution for any problem in life is a spiritual solution, really. You can temporarily solve some material problems in one way or another, but the real solution to life in a material world is a spiritual solution. And that's what Jesus did. That's what he came to teach. I mean, what is one of his titles that he's always referred to as? The Prince of Peace. But it wasn't he came and solved all conflicts externally. He solved internal conflicts. He told people to reestablish their relationship with the Lord. Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, mind, entire being. That makes your heart peaceful. That makes your heart joyful. Yeah. And there's one song we used to sing when I was a young person. Is I got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart, down in my heart. I got the peace that passes understanding down in my heart today. And it was all about, that's what Jesus came to offer.
I
joy in the heart.
And the peace that passes understanding into the heart?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I got the peace that passes understanding down in my heart, down in my heart today. I got the love, 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 love down in my heart, down in my heart, down in my heart. Yeah. Love, peace, joy. And out of that comes, wonderful life.
Well, and just like, so it seems like, so what you're saying is, or what that song is saying, I mean, if you cultivate that peace, you'll be able to take this understanding of what we're discussing and the spiritual solution down into your heart, not just on a mental level, or, that's
in the heart,
nice.
that's like, where you feel it. That's where you experience it.
Yeah.
So it's not some philosophical idea. It's a real experience.
Yeah.
And that comes from contact with God and God's great representatives, Jesus Christ being one of those, and, All the great spiritual masters, the teachers, this is what they delivered. That's why we call or refer to Lord Jesus Christ as one of our spiritual masters, because they all deliver the same thing. It's not just one person in all time delivered this. It's all pure representatives of God deliver God. And what is that? Joy, peace, love, happiness, satisfaction, fulfillment, mercy, care for other people, compassion, tolerance, every good quality comes from the Lord. And the representatives deliver that. That's their whole life. So Christmas should be a time to remind us of that.
Yeah.
Instead of just taking that away and replacing it with Santa Claus, reindeer, one reindeer that's got a red nose that glows so he can guide Santa's sleigh, through the night. How crazy is all that? And presents and parties and alcohol and, drugs and whatever happens, in the back rooms and all that stuff. That's what we've done. We've replaced that. That's the substitute. So it's obvious it can't work.
I just have to add this. The Norwegians will probably be able to relate to this. There's a Norwegian TV show. No, not a TV show. I guess it's a movie. Yeah, it's a movie. But they show it on Christmas Eve. On Christmas Eve we have these a few movies that everyone watches. In Norway, one is really old Slovakian movie about what is she called? She's not a princess, but she's got this evil stepsister, and she's washing the floors, and then she gets to marry the prince and whatever. I can't remember the name of that one in English. Askungen. Anyway,
Cinderella.
Maybe that's Cinderella. Yeah.
Well, Cinderella marries a prince, but it wasn't anything to do with washing floors and stuff.
But she was like...
Oh, she was just a menial girl.
Yeah. And menial girl, and she eventually... Anyway, so that's one of them. But another one that they're showing in Christmas is about the Christmas star. And there's this kingdom, and for something happens, and the king basically... There's a Christmas star that is shining in the sky, and they're living very happily in the kingdom. They're praising the star, which, by the way, represents Jesus. That's why the star is there, because it's representing him and where he was born. And I'm just pointing here because I have my star here in the window. And then he curses the star. Something happens. He curses it. Doesn't want it. Doesn't want Jesus, basically. And so the kingdom goes down into darkness for the next years. Eventually it's 10, 12 years. I mean, they're just immersed in loneliness, depression, darkness from him cursing that and casting out the Christmas star, that it disappears. He curses it and it disappears. And
there you go.
I mean, it's exactly what we're talking about here.
Yeah. Take the star and Jesus out, and darkness comes. Take out the light, and the darkness automatically fills the void.
Yeah. And the light, when he eventually then regrets it and invites it back and chooses to love, basically, or chooses love. That's a very brief summary of the movie, but then the star comes back and everything's light again.
There you go.
That's a very nice.
And that's reality.
Yeah.
Even if you turn your back on Jesus, he's always there waiting.
Yeah.
And if you invite him back, immediately comes back. He's there instantaneously, and the light is back on.
Yeah.
So each individual has that option. They have that opportunity. Okay, so you're lonely, you're depressed, your mental issues are increased, and so on and so on, you know. But you can change that, you know, just by making a decision. Yes, I'm going to turn toward the light. You know, in No BS Yoga, there's one of the episodes was the tale of two magnets. You remember that one?
Not sure I read that one.
Anyway,
yeah. We talked about it. Yeah.
But the point is, you have two magnets facing each other, and if they're turned this way, they connect.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
They're attracted to each other, and they come together. But if you turn one magnet around, they repel each other. Now, only one magnet was turned around. The other one stayed the same. So if you think of God, Jesus, etc., and us, they're always there waiting for us. And we can be attracted to them. We can be solidly connected with them. But if we turn around, then we're repelled. And it's not the other side, it's only us that turned around.
Right.
So when we take, this holiday season and we take out the light, we turn the magnet around, then we're repelled out of that bond, that connection, that love, that joy, that happiness, that peace, and where we got just what we're talking about.
And the reason for that also is what we've basically been saying before, and that's why it's so important with the first episodes that we said that you're not your body and you are a spirit soul and your home is in the spiritual world. And unless you are in the spiritual world with your heart, you aren't going to experience loneliness. I mean, it's not, we didn't make it like that. It's just the reality. You're not in your true home. So your true home is being connected with a magnet, like you say. So if you know that, then you understand. That's why,
And another interesting point is this internal feeling of I want to be at home. So let's say you are one of the individuals that either can't afford to go home or whatever the reason is, and you would like to be. You feel a longing to be at home and to be with your loved ones, but you can't, for whatever reason, be there, and you actually feel that. And you feel, this is not right. I need that connection. I need that love. I need that care. I need to be with the ones I love and who love me. Well, that's reality of everyone in the material world. We're not in our home, like you say. We're not with our really loved ones. We're not with those who truly love us and the source of all love, our Supreme Father, And so therefore, loneliness is a part of material life. See? And we cover it up in so many different ways with this, false idea of these temporary relationships being the solution and so on. But it's really not the solution. There is a solution, and it's back to what we were referring to. Oh, we can turn around any moment and reconnect.
And that's a very hopeful message, by the way. And you don't need, because, in this article, they're saying like, loneliness is tough, but it's also very easy to, where did I read that? Basically saying like, it's very easy to get rid of.
Yeah.
Where did I read that? But that's, anyways, that's my point is like spiritually it is very also like the real solution is very easy, really, like turn around, it's not Well, maybe it's not so easy, but I mean, it could be easy if you choose to. It's
Well, just like I know you had a nice celebration
yeah,
for Jesus at Christmas.
yeah,
Christmas. We did too.
mm,
And everybody else could do that as well,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
And if you say, well, none of my friends do that. I don't have anybody that's even interested in that kind of Christmas.
mm,
But there are people, you can find them. If you really want to find them, you can, you know. And even if it's online, like we had our Christmas celebration online. You can find someone who is doing that and join. And there you go. You've got another focus now. You're not the main person. You're not the guy. You're joining in others celebrating the real personality here. You know, and that can have a wonderful effect, but it's not mentioned in this article.
no, I mean,
But it should be.
should
and
be.
It should be promoted 100% by all the people who are supposed to be the authority on this problem.
Mm-hmm.
The psychiatrists, the psychoanalysts,
Mm-hmm.
the mental health people, all those people in that position should be promoting this 100%.
Which just comes back to the thought that I had before, or I don't know, maybe we were talking about it before, like why not? Like, why are they so afraid of looking in this direction? I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
we talked about
a long
that
story.
before, but if the so-called solution solvers, problem solvers, they are these people that are, you know, on that position in society. Why don't they give a real solution? Because they don't know either. They don't accept that, you know. And, you know, you could say, well, you guys are just talking about church stuff. That's what they do in church, and I'm not into churches. No, we're talking about a real solution here. Yeah, they do it in churches, you know, because that's the whole idea, you know. But do you have to go join something to do that? No. You know, we're not a member of some church, but we are a family of people worldwide who see the value in the appearance of Lord Jesus Christ, and Christmas is the celebration of that, and we glorify that.
Mm.
You know what Christmas means, actually? It's interesting. The Christ,
Christ,
M-A-S, Mass means festival or celebration. That's what that word means. So they put that together, the Christ and his celebration, and you got Christmas. Well,
and by the way, this is something I heard the other day. Which is so nice and comforting. Is Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. If you have a Merry Christmas, you will have a Happy New Year. As one of our teachers said. If you have a really Merry Christmas, then your New Year will be perfect and happy and everything that you wanted to be. And
yeah,
more.
Because that'll carry over, and you should make your New Year's resolution to do this. Okay. I'm not just going to turn the magnet around, so to speak. I'm just not going to turn around for this brief period of time and then turn back around. I'm going to stay facing the light, you know, the star, as you gave the example, you know, and praise the star, praise the star's message, you know, love the Lord, and do it until next Christmas. And there's no break. It's not like darkness, 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 and then a little light, one little day of the year, or one little short few days of a season of Christmas. But it'll be the light of every day.
And
if you make that New Year's resolution and keep it,
yeah,
it'll be the best year you ever had.
yeah. Well, exactly, and you keep it. I mean, it's just my feeling is you pay respect to the star, you show your gratitude, you are thankful for the opportunity that you have, and if you daily do that, I mean, then you will stay facing the star.
You'll carry that light with you.
Right, that's true.
Yeah.
And pass it on.
So that's the real solution. That's not the solution like watch a lot of movies. You know, it's the real solution. You know? And that's why, you know, a lot of people's solution is alcohol. You know, it's the time when people drink the most alcohol. You know, what they call it, Christmas cheer. You know, here's my Christmas cheer, and they got a bottle of alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or you know, they take the most drugs, or a combination of the two, or you know,
well, but
that's escapism into a darker region than you're already in.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and that's a way to deal with the loneliness. I mean, it's one way. Or to run away from it, maybe, not deal with it.
And it's not in this article, but suicide is also very prominent during this season.
I can.
You know, the ultimate, what people see, the ultimate solution.
Mm.
No. Don't try to run away from the real solution, because you're just running away from the only possibility of solving the problem of loneliness and depression, and mental issues, etc. If you run away from spirituality, you run away from yourself, really. And you can't do that.
You can't do that. That's true. You're still yourself.
Yeah.
But you're not, yeah. Well, there's many things we can say. Maybe we should chant.
So yeah, that's you know, a real solution. You feel lonely, you feel, you know, in any way like we've been discussing, chant the holy names. That's connecting you with the Lord and the Lord's representative directly. They are there in their names. You chant the names, you're connected. And again, you may say, I don't have anybody to chant with. I don't play musical instruments. Online, there's so many places, you know. You've got programs, we've got programs, you know. Our friends in many countries have online programs of chanting, you know. And if you're interested, and we're not saying go to everywhere there might be somebody chanting, because I don't know who's chanting, but if you're interested in, you know, what we would recommend you listen to, then let us know. We'll send you links. In fact, Ruben can post it. At the bottom of this, you know. Wonderful places to go. So what's the mantra today that you would like to share with people?
Well, should we chant Jesus? To Jesus? Haribol? I don't know. We didn't do it.
We can chant Haribo Nitai Go, Haribo Jesus.
Perfect. Yeah.
Haribo Nitai Go, Nitai Go, Haribo. Haribo Nitai Go, Nitai Go, Haribo.
Haribo.
Haribo. Haribo Jesus, Haribo Jesus, Haribo Jesus, Jesus Haribo.
Haribo Jesus, Haribo Jesus, Haribo Jesus, Jesus Haribo.
Haribo Jesus, Haribo Jesus, Haribo Jesus, Jesus Haribo.
Haribo Jesus, Haribo Jesus, Haribo Jesus, Jesus Haribo.
Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo.
Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo.
Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo.
Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo.
Haribo Jesus, Haribo Jesus, Haribo Jesus, Jesus 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 Haribo.
Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo.
Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo.
Haribo Nitai Gaur,
Haribo,
Nitai Gaur Haribo,
Nitai Gaur Haribo,
Jesus Haribo,
Jesus Haribo,
Nitai Gaur Haribo,
Nitai Gaur Haribo.
Hari.
Haribo.
Haribo.
All right. So don't let loneliness rule you. There is a solution. Chant the holy names, and that is the solution. Yeah. All right.
So simple.
We wish everybody a wonderful new year. And so Christmas is past, this one, 2023, but you can do all the things we referred to in 2024.
That's true. That's true.
And you can start right now. Yeah.
That's why.
Not just,
Uh,
yes, and not just one day a year, all days of every year.
not just during Christmas. That's the remembrance, but let the whole year be a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Ruben, I like your star. I like the idea of, yeah.
Yeah. I was watching that and I was just thinking, wow, this is a great analogy if people could understand, but most people don't. I think they don't reflect in that way on what it actually means.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's for us here this is as light as it gets now in this time. So for us, it's like this light, the star is very prominent in the darkest places, like here.
Yeah.
But it's light. It's becoming lighter now. It's lighter every day. So let's let your next year also be lighter every day. It can be very gradual. Maybe you don't even notice. Like you don't notice that it's getting lighter, but suddenly it's actually really light and the sun is up, and you're like, wow, what happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
Your life can be like that.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining.
Yep. Thank you, everyone.
And
Tuning in.
Ruben will put the links. You can.
I will to some chanting. Like you said.
Bring it into your home, into your life. Next time, Ruben. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Valkia. Happy to see you. Happy New Year.
We thank Slava for his participation always.
Yeah.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Haribo.
Haribo. Hare Krishna.